Coming to you from the Ground Zero Radio Studio, this is the TeenTix Arts Podcast. You can call us TAP for short.
We're all a part of TeenTix programs, which work to emphasize youth voices in the arts. I'm Josh, a newsroom writer for the TeenTix blog.
I'm Dylan, a member of the New Guard, the TeenTix Arts Leadership Program.
And I'm Triona, a teen editor, and we're this episode's hosts. In this episode, we're featuring a bunch of exciting events taking place in Seattle this November.
So Dylan, what's on tap today?
Today, our events will be engrossed in a theme of empowerment through education, ranging from filmmaking to Shakespeare.
Sounds great. First off, we have Indigenous, from conception to impact, a virtual class from TeenTix Arts partner SIF, taking place on November 18th. This is an installment of a larger course which seeks to focus on Indigenous perspectives of filmmakers globally. This specific installment focuses on Emilio Maza de Luca and Marta Orozco, breaking down the filmmaking process from conception to impact campaign, highlighting how filmmaking is more accessible than ever and that low budgets aren't necessarily a barrier to telling your story. This was particularly interesting to me because when I think about different kinds of media, different kind of art, filmmaking seems like the one that is very high budget, perhaps the most high budget, but this isn't necessarily the case anymore. It's becoming more accessible. And I think this coincides with this film of Indigenous perspectives, because Indigenous perspectives have not only been excluded from film, but from a lot of art. And so really these barriers being broken down right now is very unique and very good. And this course focuses on that. I recommend you all check it out.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, Josh. And another really cool virtual class that's happening at SIF is From Heartthrob to Movie Star on November 4th that discusses the influence of the female gaze on the careers of, very well-known movie stars. Let's take Leonardo DiCaprio, for example, right? Like, he's a big deal. He's an awesome actor. Everybody knows who he is. And he started out with Titanic. That was really his big break. And that was very much a romance movie. And those are kind of the genres that, right now are very looked down on. Those are the cringy genres. But it's, right, like these are the places where so many of these well-known actors start out. And so this class is discussing, how powerful these stories that are told specifically for the female gaze can really be to the media industry. And this is one that you can keep an eye out for coverage on the blog.
Yeah, this is, I think that's incredibly important as well. Yeah, the empowerment of the, and inclusion of the female perspective in the movie industry is incredibly important. Another empowering course is through Positive Eyes, which is a live artivist storytelling at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So through Positive Eyes is a live presentation that will have you face stigmas and create empathy for those challenged by HIV and AIDS. Artivists, which stands for Artists and Activists, Kelly H. and Edward will be sharing their personal experiences with HIV and promote efforts to remove HIV stigmas, which is a huge reason why most people don't get treated. This is super important because people who face stigmas regarding HIV and AIDS don't get treated and suffer financially as well as from their health because they don't want to come out and say they have it because of fear of public reaction. The dates for this wonderful and very important presentation are November 10th and December 15th. More information at discovergates.org.
Wow, Dylan, this seems like a really, really valuable, presentation and class. I think a lot of people forget that, HIV and AIDS is still such a big problem because it is so much better than it used to be, right? It's no longer a death sentence, which is amazing because we have these treatments. But because of stigma, people still don't get treated. So, continuing to talk about it and continuing to bring more attention, it's a very valuable thing, right? It potentially can save lives.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Another really interesting component of that event is that artivist piece of it, this intersection of artist and activist. And one TeenTix partner that has worked with and also helped to create multiple artivists is the Vira project, which coincidentally is where we're recording this right now. They're a great TeenTix partner, great all-ages art space with concerts, volunteer opportunities, and various courses. One of these courses is an upcoming class on the basics of live sound on November 16th. This is an all-ages intro to live sound and equipment. It's a 2-hour course, and it serves as a prerequisite to get into more detailed courses and some of their volunteer opportunities.
Yeah, That sounds super interesting. So is this like focused towards radio production, similar to what we're doing right now, or is this more like some of Vira's other stuff, like concerts, that kind of thing?
Right. It's focused a little more on concerts and that live sound element, which is really interesting to me right now because obviously we've been in a pandemic. Many youth, many people have been inside their homes for a long time. And if you have the means to, some people have been focused a little bit more on the audio side of things, on live recording, but haven't had the opportunity to get the experience in an actual live setting like a concert. And so now we do have that opportunity, even though we're still in a pandemic. There's more concerts, there's more live events happening. And so I really recommend, if that's where your head's at, that you check out this course.
Speaking of live performances and live concerts, we have The Winter's Tale, which is at the Seattle Rep. So this is a musical adaptation of Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale, which is about a Sicilian king who suspects his wife of infidelity and seeks revenge by imprisoning her and banishing the newborn child to distant shores. 16 years later, in the wild woods of Bohemia, the consequences of his actions begin to unfold. This is a very interesting twist on Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale. I myself have not actually seen The Winter's Tale, but I have seen many of Shakespeare's plays, and I think a modern touch on this play in particular, and many of his other ones, especially Bohemia, is a very interesting and a very important thing. The dates for the show are December 16th to December 19th of 2021. Buy tickets now while they last. Yeah.
That sounds super fun. And, in that same vein of, live performances, right? Live theater is slowly coming back. Obviously here at TeenTix, we care about teens. We care about arts. We care about teens in the arts. And something really significant that recently has happened for teens in the arts is Seattle Public Schools has finally reinstated live performances and live audiences for performing arts programs in their schools. This is something that a lot of student artists have not been able to showcase their performing arts for almost 2 years now. So this is, finally having that back and having a chance to perform live again is something really valuable for a lot of people. And I think it's something we should be celebrating.
Exactly. And if you're one of those SBS students who has been missing out on that opportunity to participate in live performances, and you've got one coming up that you're really stoked about, let us know down below in the comments on SoundCloud or YouTube, or reach out to us directly. Thank you for tuning in to the TeenTix Arts Podcast at Ground Zero Radio, where we listen to be heard. I'm Josh.
I'm Triona.
And this is Dylan.
The music in this episode is Ain't Basic, brought to you by Totem Star recording artist Zoser. A big thank you to TeenTix and Ground Zero Radio for supporting the production of this podcast.
You can find us on our blog at teentix.org/blog or on the TeenTix YouTube and SoundCloud pages. Join TeenTix again next month to find out what's on tap.
Thanks for listening.
Ba-da-ba-ba.